Video opens with a close-up shot of the creator, looking thoughtful and a little conflicted. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little different. It's personal, and honestly a bit difficult for me to talk about, but I feel like it's a story that needs to be shared. It's about my partner, and a secret they kept from me for years. A secret so big, it completely changed the way I saw them, our relationship, and everything I thought was true. So, let's rewind a bit. My partner and I, let's call them Alex, have been together for a long time. We met in college, and it was one of those instant connections. We finished each other's sentences, shared the same weird sense of humor, and supported each other through everything. We built a life together, you know? We had our home, our routines, our shared dreams for the future. I genuinely believed I knew this person inside and out. I thought there were no secrets between us. I was wrong. The thing about Alex is that they've always been incredibly kind and generous, almost to a fault. They were the first person to volunteer for a fundraiser, the one who'd drop everything to help a friend move, the one who always tipped way more than they should. I used to tease them about it, calling them my overly charitable superhero. It was just part of who they were, and I loved that about them. I never questioned it. Why would I? It was just Alex being Alex. But over the last couple of years, I started noticing things that felt off. Small things at first. Sometimes large amounts of money would disappear from our joint account. When I'd ask, Alex would have a plausible, but always vague, explanation. Oh, that was for the car repairs. Or I had to help out a family member. It always seemed legitimate, so I'd let it go. But the frequency started to increase, and the amounts got bigger. Then there were the late-night phone calls. Alex would step out onto the balcony to take them, speaking in hushed tones. If I walked in, the call would end abruptly. Again, the explanations were smooth. Just a work thing, or a friend going through a tough time. I wanted to believe them. I trusted them, but a small seed of doubt had been planted and it was starting to grow. I started to feel a knot in my stomach whenever their phone rang after 10 p.m. The real turning point, the moment I knew something was seriously wrong, happened about 6 months ago. We were planning a big vacation, something we'd been saving up for ages. It was our dream trip. I went to check our savings account, the one we had specifically for this trip, and it was nearly empty. I'm talking thousands of dollars, just gone. My heart dropped to the floor. I felt sick. I confronted Alex, my hands shaking. I was ready for a fight. I had all these terrible scenarios running through my head. Were they in some kind of trouble? Were they hiding a massive debt? Was there someone else? My mind was racing to the darkest possible conclusions. But Alex just looked at me, and for the first time, I saw genuine fear in their eyes. They broke down completely, and that's when the secret finally came out. It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't anything I could have ever imagined in a million years. It was so much more complex, and in a strange way, so much more. Alex, it turns out, all those years ago, before we even met, Alex's family had gone through a devastating financial crisis. They lost everything, and the person who helped them get back on their feet, who gave them a loan with no questions asked and helped Alex's parents find new jobs, was a very close family friend. This friend never asked for anything in return. But a few years into our relationship, that friend's family fell on their own hard times. Their business failed, and they were facing ruin. So Alex made a promise, a secret promise. They decided they were going to pay back that kindness, no matter what it took. All the money that had been disappearing, it was going to them. The late-night phone calls, they were with that family, helping them budget, coaching them through job interviews, being their emotional support. Alex had secretly taken on the financial and emotional burden of an entire family, without ever telling me. They were afraid I would be angry, or that I would try to stop them. They were afraid I wouldn't understand the depth of this obligation they felt. When Alex finally told me everything, sobbing, I didn't know what to say. I wasn't angry, I was stunned. My partner, the person I loved, was living a double life, but it wasn't a life of deceit for selfish reasons. It was a life of secret, radical generosity. They were sacrificing our savings, our dream vacation, and their own peace of mind to honor a debt of kindness from their past. They were trying to be a hero in secret. The initial shock was huge. I felt hurt that they didn't trust me enough to tell me. We had a lot of long, difficult conversations after that. We talked about trust, about partnership, and about what it means to be a team. I explained that their secrets, no matter how well-intentioned, created a wall between us. And Alex explained their fear of burdening me, of making me a part of a problem that wasn't mine. We had to rebuild. We had to learn how to communicate on a whole new level. It wasn't easy, and it's still a process. We decided that we would help this family, but we would do it together, as a team. We created a budget that we could both agree on. No more secrets. Everything out in the open. And you know what? It's made our relationship stronger than I ever thought possible. I look at Alex now and I see a depth of character that I was only scratching the surface of before. I see someone whose capacity for kindness is almost superhuman. But I also see someone who is human, who is flawed, and who is afraid. This whole experience taught me that people are more complex than we can ever imagine. Even the people we're closest to. And it taught me that true partnership isn't about having no problems. It's about how you face the problems you have together. It's about choosing to trust and be vulnerable, even when it's scary. So, why am I sharing this? Because I think we often see these polished, perfect versions of relationships online. But real love is messy, it's complicated, it involves difficult conversations and learning to forgive. And sometimes, the biggest secrets aren't the ones you'd expect. Sometimes, they're born from a place of love, however misguided. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It really means a lot to be able to share this with you all. If you've ever dealt with a major secret in a relationship, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's create a supportive space to talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.